Here we go. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, another Facebook Live. We are here today. You know what? He's coming straight to you from the positive energy vortex of the universe, otherwise known as Sedona. We have Jared Folsom. Jared, welcome to the show. There he is. A handsome young man at that, too. Isn't he, Paul? All right, buddy. All right, tell us a little about yourself, how long you've been doing this. I know you're up there with that crazy new group with Patrick. You guys are rocking the world. So tell us a little about yourself and how you've been doing, my man.
Yeah, we're doing great, man. Sedona's fantastic. We're coming into busy season, and we are at the Sedona office in West Sedona, and I am on Patrick Clark's team, which is fantastic. I've been doing real estate for just over 2 years. Actually, March 24th will be my 2-year licensing. I actually just renewed my license. So I've been doing this for a couple of years and getting in the swing of it. I'm on a fantastic team. Came from a very strong hospitality background and started with Marriott, then transitioned to the entrepreneur world, started my own company, and it mixes really well, man. What I do with property management and selling real estate, I sell a lot of homes to people that are first-time guests. So it just goes really well. But yeah, 2 years in the game.
That's awesome. And you have some Airbnbs up there too, right?
I do. Yeah, we have 51 Airbnbs. We're bringing on several more this week, actually. I just brought a new one on yesterday. Got 3 more in the pipeline. So yeah, we've got a handful of them up here in northern Arizona, and we service Sedona in the entire Verde Valley. So Cottonwood, Clarkdale, Rimrock, all over the place.
Yeah, that's such a great idea. I love what you guys are doing too. I mean, you specifically, you're doing the Airbnbs and the property management yourself, which is great. Great mix in the real estate. I mean, you couldn't pick a better place to do it too. I mean, people love going there. The properties are amazing. The views are unbelievable. I spent a few weekends there myself. I can't remember the name of it. Is there a place called Annie's or
Layla's?
What is it?
Is it a bakery?
No, it's like a little resort. It's on the right after the office. The office is on your right. You go straight up and it's on the right-hand side. Beautiful view of, I can't think of the name of the place, but I stayed there a couple of years ago. It was gorgeous. But I love what you guys are doing, especially your tight-knit group there. You know, you guys got great social media going. You have great energy. It's helpful being from the, positive energy vortex of the universe, right? So tell us a little about that. Tell us a little about how you do your business, my man.
Yeah, so I started my company 2.5 years ago, and we started with one short-term rental, and we've grown to over 50 in 2.5 years, which is pretty substantial. Again, I got into real estate 2 years ago, and so what we do to kind of go hand in hand with one another is we develop in each one of our books. We have a welcome binder. It gives the guests all the things that they need to know for a successful and a comfortable stay with us. And I had the idea, or my wife had the idea, my wife owns a marketing agency here, to produce a flyer that we could put in those books that says, on the front page, it says, "Hey, thanks for staying with us. We hope you really enjoy your stay." And then it goes ... And on the back side, it says, "Hey, are you thinking about staying longer?" And then it has all my real estate information. So that's been successful. I did 7 transactions last year, and 4 of those transactions were selling homes to guests that were first-time people here in Sedona that fell in love with it.
Guests
but it's hard not to fall in love with them.
Yeah, and you probably first off, 50-something properties is great and growing. It's such a great idea too, because some of them probably enjoy doing it, so they want to buy another one or two, and you can help them with those, right? So if I own a property, an Airbnb in Sedona, and it's a nice one, $1 million, $1.5 million, nice property, how often is it full? Most of the time, or 60%, 70%? How does that work?
So our average goal throughout the entire year, because we do have a slow season here, I'd say I call slow season May 15th through September 15th. That's like our really downtime. Really, it's June, July, August. Those are our hard months. But with 9 months of busy and 3 months of not, we run an average occupancy, or our goal to run average occupancy is about 80% throughout the year.
Wow, that's excellent.
Yeah, and if you're running in that $1 million to $1.5 million dollar range, you're probably looking at a net an NOI of between $200,000 and $250,000 a year.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, you should just market it to those people in Scottsdale, because even in June and July, when it's 115 there, it's probably only 90 there, right?
So that's what we do. We actually run those targeted Facebook ads during June, July, and August to Tucson, Scottsdale, Las Vegas, and we try to hit those hot, really hot feeder city markets. because they'll come up here and spend a night, 2 nights.
Yeah, I got to talk to you because I'll come up there I don't care if it's June, July, or August, and with my wife for a weekend, and we'll have to talk about that because I like to organize that because we both love going there. I mean, who doesn't like going to Sedona? It's a beautiful spot.
Exactly, and in the summertime, you're right on the creek, and there are so many great creek spots, swimming holes that you can visit, jump in, cool off.
Love it. Love it. So, okay, so you mentioned your wife runs a market. She owns her own marketing company. Is that what you said?
She does, yeah. Yep. She owns Indigo Agency here locally. She has a couple clients that she works for in California, but she does a lot of local design work for local small business too.
That must be very helpful for you because we have, our great brand and all the tools that we have in the VAC. I'm sure she helps you out with that good stuff too.
She built my entire website. She does all of my back end stuff, all my marketing, all my collateral, and with what we have in the resource center and what we have in the VAC, she's able to do what she does with Adobe is I could never do it. I tell her I could never do what she does, and she says the same about me. So,
right. Well, that's why it's a great marriage, dude. Right? You don't want to be exactly the same. You drive each other crazy.
Well, we still drive each other crazy, but yeah, no.
That's called marriage. That's perfectly normal.
That's right.
But there's an exception. Anyways, let's not get into that. I am not a marriage counselor, and I do not pretend to play one, and I don't even play one on Facebook Live. All right, so you're beginning your third year. Is that correct in sales?
So yeah, I hit my 2-year mark. So yeah, March 24th will be my third year starting.
Almost the beginning of your third year. Okay, so what are your goals? Tell us a little about your goals. What would you like to? I mean, I know you have all those properties going, which is time consuming, and I'm sure you do very well there too. And so, what's your real estate sales goal on top of all your management goals?
So with my company is my main focus, and I sell real estate. But again, it goes very hand in hand. So every year I set a goal for myself, and my goal is to sell one home per quarter. If I can sell $1 million plus per quarter, I am super happy with that.
With all the other stuff you got going on, good.
Yeah, and again, last year with the way that we came up with the marketing idea, we did 7 transactions. So I was very happy with that. I've already closed my Q1 home, and I've got probably 4 buyers in the pipeline.
Excellent. So yeah, so with everything you have going on with your Airbnb, every time you sell a property, it's really like a good bonus check, like a really good bonus check for you.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of what my wife likes to call expendable income.
That's definitely a marriage comment, by the way.
That's what I said. But no, it is. It's a great supplemental income, and I love real estate. I really do. I'm a huge contract nerd. I love contracts. So getting to go through a contract every single time I get to do a transaction, I love it.
Yeah, and in Arizona, I mean, it's not California, but Nevada, out of all the markets we're in, probably at least amount of paperwork. California is definitely the most, and Arizona is right there in the middle. So yeah, you really have to know what you're doing from a contract standpoint to get by in this business today, because a lot of agents kind of scare me. I mean, they really don't. So knowing the contracts, knowing the paperwork, like, with everything going on out there in the news, the lawsuits and this and that with NAR, and one of the things I coach agents all the time is you got to become comfortable with the buyer agency agreement now. That's one thing you have to start using. Are you guys seeing that too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And with that paperwork, it seems like, especially in the past 6 months here in Arizona, the paperwork is ever changing. It's always evolving, and there's new forms of the same documentation. So you really have to make sure you have those updated forms when you're writing these contracts, because if you don't, then things could go wrong with ADRE, or you'd have to redo the paperwork. Whatever it is, but it's a lot of meticulous work. But it's after you do it so many times, and if you have a great mentor to help you through it, it just becomes automatic. Yeah,
that's great. I love it. And you probably have a goal yourself of owning a few Airbnbs and renting them out yourself. I think you did mention that to me at one time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That is our goal for 2024 is to purchase our own. We're in a position now to where we can make that happen realistically. We're just kind of waiting for that right time. And as we segue into spring, we're seeing more homes come on the market. So interest rates are kind of in a sweet spot right now. And yeah, we're just waiting for that right time to pull the trigger. But yeah, that is definitely our goal, is to have our first one this year, and five homes in 5 years. That's the goal.
That's a great goal, especially at your age, dude. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I have a guy in Nevada right here that I coach who's in the Summerlin office. It's either 3 or 4. I think he has 3 in Vegas, 1 in Utah, and Airbnbs. And he does very well, but he also does business from them. He has other people that own Airbnbs, and he gets buyers and sellers. And like you'll see, there'll be somebody eventually one of these days who's done the Airbnb thing forever that goes, hey, you want to sell that for me? So that's a good adage to what you're already doing. But you guys must have, like, you have 51 or 52, you said now, Airbnbs?
51. Yeah, 51 right now.
What's your goal? Like, what would you like to level out at? How many would you like to have in your system?
That's a great question. I get that question all the time, especially from my new owners, because I talk to my owners constantly. It's a revolving door of conversations, and a big question with my owners is, when are you going to stop? When's the cutoff point? And I tell them that I will consistently grow, and I will continue to grow as long as the integrity of the guest service that we provide for our guests that come stay with us is never compromised. That is my number one goal, both in property management and real estate, is to ensure that we are providing the best and highest quality service that we can to our clients at all times. And I'm very blessed. I have an amazing team here in Sedona that help run my operations, so I can focus on sales or getting new clients, new homes. And then my cleaning staff is among the best in Northern Arizona.
That is great. Yeah, and you probably know them all. They're probably all locals. It's a nice, tight community there too, I've noticed.
It is. We're just under 10,000 residents as of last year. So yeah, we have an extremely tight-knit community here, and it's great to be a part of it.
Yeah, everybody sticks together too. I love it. Even if you stop at a local place, you talk to people. I went to one of the kind of down from the office on the left. It's kind of surrounded by a rock wall. They have like a flea market or a get together every year. When I went there last time, I was there during that live music. It was really good. It was a whole bunch of locals. It was fun talking to everybody.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Well, the other thing is your Airbnbs. Even let's say you grew overnight to 75. I got to think that when you're advertising one property, it's kind of like having listings, right? You're advertising one property, and oh my God, this person wants this one, but it's already full that week. You can go, but I have this one over here that's just like it, right?
Absolutely.
So having more, as long as you do what you just said, which is keep your customer service happy. That by the way, when they ask you that question, that's why they're asking you. They want to make sure that you're going to stay, that they're going to stay number one with you. But if you have one, and it's one way to make sure everybody's always full is by having even more properties, because you can, cross.
And we do. We shift. And we have homes that are very comparable. We have anything from a 1-1 casita all the way up to, I think my largest home is a 8 bedroom, 7 bath. And my average count is a 3-2. So we have a lot of people that are like, hey man, I really like this home, but it's not available. So I'll steer them in the direction of another home that's very comparable. It's just, not that home. And 9 times out of 10, I'll end up booking it. So it's just additional revenue for that owner. It's additional occupancy for me. It's additional revenue for me. And going back to the comment that you just made about current STR owners wanting to sell, I've actually sold last year. I sold two of my STRs because
nice.
The owners wanted to invest elsewhere, or they just needed more capital or whatever it is. And 9 times out of 10, when I sell a home as a listing, whoever is purchasing it is purchasing it as an investment, and I'll continue to manage that home.
That's
so
awesome.
It's like I cycle through it 3 different times.
Now, I'm sure, because I know you're such an awesome company dude, coming to the golf tournament on the 24th. I'm looking forward to having you be the the representation from the positive energy vortex of the universe. All right. Patrick is supposed to come too, so he better come. And hopefully you guys get a foursome from there. It sounds like you're going to. Right. But you're also going to the convention. You're going to New Orleans this week.
Yes.
And I got to and I got to think that you probably already thought of this, but I'm just going to say it. Hey, if I live in Las Vegas or if I live in Dallas and I like doing the Airbnb thing, I mean, what a better guy to talk to you, not a better guy to talk to you than you about, investing there. So are you going to talk, is that part of your networking while you're at convention?
Absolutely. Anytime I travel, I'm always networking. I'm always meeting people, whether it's on the plane, whether it's in the city. You never know who you're going to be talking to. You never know who you're sitting next to. Me and my wife went to Nashville last week, and we checked out the market there to see, how Airbnb rentals were, what real estate was like there. So yeah, I absolutely plan on doing the same thing at the convention. I definitely plan on doing the same thing at the golf tournament in April. So yeah, that's the thing about us salespeople, Rick. We're always networking. We're always drumming up business. No, you never know where it's going to come from, but we're always doing it.
Right, but you have a unique niche, right? Yours is because you're the first person I've ever interviewed that does property management, but you're specific in your property management where it's Airbnb. So a lot goes into that. Advertising, like you said, cleaning, maintenance. There's all kinds of things that you're doing for people, and they have to really trust you, and I'm sure they do. So that's a really unique, company that you're running, right? It's awesome, and I love the idea behind it. So I would think that in your networking and so forth too, talking to people about what you do is very unique, and I would think it would be very good for people, if they're referring people people go to Sedona, they fall in love with it, and they go, hey, why don't I buy a place, let Jared, take care of it, 6-7 months of the year. I'll go up this month, I'll go up that month, and the rest of the time it's taken care of, and it's not being beat up, it's being well taken care of too. So it's a great investment and a second home. So it's a great idea too.
And that's the thing, Rick, is it's mostly, when I sell myself, it's mostly making these owners feel comfortable, because we are a full service property management company. We handle everything from when the guest inquires all the way to when the guest checks out and we clean the home. So having someone purchase a $1.5 or $2 million home here and saying, here you go, this is for you. I'm giving you this home that I just purchased. There's a lot of trust that goes into that. And you really have to sell yourself as a company, and you really have to have a good image, which we do. We have a fantastic image here in Sedona. It's funny. I played golf last weekend, or I think last Thursday or Friday, with a couple of guys, and they were from Wisconsin, and they were down here. They have a house in North Scottsdale that they're selling, and so I explained what I did, and you get to spend 4 hours with people out on a golf course. You get to learn a lot about one another.
You sure do.
So it just so happened that these two guys were looking to purchase a home here in Sedona, and so we have now narrowed down homes between 1 and 1.5 million that I'm going to show them this week. So, and we have one that's really on our radar. So, and then what they're going to do is they want to turn that into a short-term rental so they can come up to Sedona and visit, but make money in the off season.
I love it. Golfing is prospecting. I've always said that.
It is. It is.
Plus you get to walk some good land and, talk to people and, hit that little ball that is addictive. It's so addictive.
It is. It definitely is. It definitely is. And it's all a tax write-off. If you talk business, it's all a tax write-off.
Exactly right. All right. So let's see. So you have two businesses going on. Your wife has one. So between you and your wife, you have three businesses going on. You're a successful guy, obviously a positive attitude. So if I'm trying to get into that groove like you, give them like three of the most important things that you would tell them to focus on to be a success in this endeavor.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I also have 3 kids under the age of 10. So just to pile that on there.
So all the excuses are out of the way, man. You're a father, you're a husband, you got young children, you got businesses going on. So you have all those things that you need to deal with every day, just like everybody else too. So I love it.
No, absolutely. One of the biggest thing, the 3 things that I would focus on, first in real estate, if we're talking about real estate, my first and foremost is find a mentor that cares about you, that cares about the brand, and find a brand that fits for you. But most of all, find a mentor that cares. I have, and I will say this with confidence, the best mentor in Northern Arizona, probably Arizona as a whole. Nazreen Holly, she's one of our top salespeople here in the Southwest. So I owe
and
so
Jared,
much money.
You can say it. And the best cupcakes on the planet.
Oh, don't even get me started. I love the cupcakes. My waist, however, does not. So
right.
No, she is a true inspiration. She is the reason why I am so successful in real estate today. She really takes the time for myself and our team. We have a fantastic team of 5 agents, and she really, really cares. And that is probably my number one advice to anyone getting into real estate, or if you're in real estate but you're not quite sure where to go or how to approach it. Find a mentor that's been in the game for a long time that will take the time to coach you.
Yeah, she's a gem because she does so much, and you can just tell she loves doing it too. I love talking with her, interviewing her. I love her social media. She's just a really nice person. She has 2 young children as well. So she's got all
Yeah.
that going on. I love it. I love it. And your group, that's what I'm talking about earlier. Your group, the five of you, is there five of you
Yeah.
plus her, right? You guys are
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah,
So
it's myself.
fun to watch.
Yeah, it's myself, Nazreen, Sonia, Julie, Isaiah, and Amber. So 6 of us.
Yeah, awesome. I love it. I got a couple more interviews of you guys coming up too. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. Number 2 is and this is real estate and property management. And I mean, just if you're in sales in general, is follow up. You know, you got to
Yeah.
follow up with your people. And I remember the first week that I met Patrick Clark, and he said something to me. He said, you know, what you're doing right now is going to materialize in 6 to 9 months. And I said, that sounds insane. That's the most absolutely ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But nothing could be truer. And if you don't have follow-up within that 6 to 9 months, these clients are going to find somebody else. So, I mean, follow-up is absolutely huge.
I love it. I love it. It's so true. The fortune is in the follow-up, as they say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And 3, I would say going back, finding a brand. Find a brand that fits you. There's so many different real estate brands, brokerages out there. Find a brand that really resonates with you as a person. I interviewed with, I think, 6 brokerages, and I knew right away that Berkshire was the one for me. I think Berkshire was the second one I interviewed with, but I knew it was absolutely for me. And I know that I made the right decision because I met Charles McLean down in Scottsdale, who's a fantastic broker. Obviously, Patrick Clark, you personally, and Troy Ryerson. Troy Ryerson is unbelievable. Not to float his boat any more than anyone needs to, but I met Troy one time at the Sedona office, and then I saw him last year at conference, and he came up to me and he said, "Hey, Jared, like a year had almost passed, and he had remembered my name. Like if that's not a true CEO, and that's not a reflection of the business that we're a part of, then I don't know what is."
Yeah, no, we kind of like him here too. No, he's a great guy, and I love get a mentor. Okay, I love what you said about that. That's absolutely incredible. Absolutely, the brand is critically important. What are you doing? Okay, for your brand. I mean, you guys have been really good at creating your brand within the brand. Now I've seen that, right? And then the fortune is in the follow up, or as I call it, semi-stalker lead follow up when you do it properly.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Any final words you want to leave these lovely people? Because we're right about at time. Anything else you'd like to say that you haven't said yet, Jared?
No, I really appreciate your time, Rick. I really appreciate the interview opportunity. And thank you guys for all that you do. Looking forward to conference this weekend and look forward to some golf in April.
Yeah, well, I'll see you this weekend too. And definitely the convention coming up. It's going to be great. Make sure, I'll give you a piece of advice. Now, obviously Monday and Tuesday we have the speakers and then the awards. Then you have lunch. Make sure ahead of time you look at that. You look at those options you want to do Monday afternoon and Tuesday afternoon and decide ahead of time. Because if you want to be at some of them, you're going to have to not sprint, but move quickly. So you're not, because now what they do is once the room is full, they shut it down. So the ones you really want to see, get there early.
All right. Will do.
All right, my man. Well, Jared, thank you very much. This is awesome because I've never interviewed anybody who does it quite like you do with your Airbnb spin, which I think, and you couldn't do it in a better place. The more I think about it, is then Sedona, which I think is a fabulous idea. And I'm going to be talking to you about either June or July this year as well.
You come out, you bring the wife out anytime, Rick.
All right, my man. I really appreciate you. You're the best. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Bye, Jared.